Welcome to Danny's podcast on technology. I'm your host, Daniel Parente, here to talk all things tech and keep you plugged into the latest innovations and trends on the market. As professional writer and professor in the field of technology, my goal is to break down complex technology topics into bite-sized discussions for everyone. Grab a snack, settle in, and let's have some fun. Hey everyone. Welcome to today's podcast where we're talking about something that impacts all of our lives in this digital age, data privacy and cybersecurity. Now those may sound like boring technical topics, but they address something pretty important. How much of our personal information is being collected online, often without us realizing it, and how criminals or shady businesses try to steal it or exploit us with it. This stuff matters because it can affect whether we become victims of identity theft, financial fraud, or hacking, which can create real problems in our lives. So today we'll break down what's going on, where risks are growing, and then some ways we can get more control over our privacy. I think you'll find this eye-opening. Let's dive in. First, we need to realize how much our digital footprints are growing, meaning the info out there about what we do online, where we go, what we buy, and more. A decade ago, this was mostly limited to things like computer search histories and maybe an email account. But now we have apps tracking everything about us. Our smartphones are always aware of our location, no matter where we go. Social sites profile our interests and who we interact with. Streaming platforms analyze the shows we binge watch at night. Every digital device leaves a trail of personal breadcrumbs these days. And it's no longer just computers and phones. New device categories are getting internet connections and sharing data too. Things like smartwatches tracking our health stats, internet-connected cars, mapping our trips, and voice assistants in our home taking notes on what we ask for. Hundreds of technologies see the details of our private behaviors, and we often just accept it for the convenience without realizing what gets monitored and stored. But all that personal data goes somewhere, usually to big corporate servers for storing, using, and even selling. You might be wondering how serious this could get. Well, get this. There was one internet-enabled refrigerator model that took photos of what was stored inside every time the door closed. The company thought it would help people keep track of food inventory while out shopping. But people freaked out about privacy risks of the fridge spying on eating habits. Companies have to really consider what data gets shared in the name of adding cool new features if they want people to trust their products. And here's the thing. This data trail we all leave isn't just short-term. It can stick around for ages because digital info is easy to perpetually archive. We leave childhood digital footprints from family computers and posts that stick with us. Photos uploaded years back are still viewable. Companies even track behaviors over decades to personalize ads. That's wild when you think about it. The stuff we do today online shapes what opportunities and restrictions we might face years later if that data isn't handled properly or gets into the wrong hands. It requires more attention from both users and tech companies. However, while we were living more and more of our lives online sharing personal stuff everywhere out of convenience, some pretty concerning threats started emerging from criminals using technology in new ways. Identity theft really exploded as a category. Scammers also got smarter in how they target our data to rip us off. See, online data breaches that leak people's private info became common. One breach at the credit bureau Equifax years ago impacted half of America. Stolen personal data, such as social security numbers and addresses, is an ideal weapon in the hands of identity thieves, enabling them to open fraudulent accounts or create tailored messages to deceive us. Even basic public details about someone can help hackers guess account passwords. The information that we casually provide to apps and websites has significant value not only for advertising purposes, but also for clandestine organizations. Criminals also have access to new spyware tools that let them grab personal data in scary ways. Some special phone apps designed for snoopy parents to track kids got abused by partners to stalk victims too by recording messages and calls. And we've all gotten scammy emails that look real but are phishing attempts to get us to input passwords or bank info. As more parts of society go digital, it introduces new crime problems. Our info is irresistible to steal and exploit. So what can be done about these threats lurking behind the conveniences of modern tech? Well, the answer requires a group effort by lawmakers establishing data protections, companies better securing products, and smart users being more cautious about privacy risks. It's kind of like neighborhood safety. You need streetlights, locks on doors, and vigilant residents looking out for shady behavior. No single approach works perfectly on its own. We have started seeing data privacy as something requiring attention from all sides. Let's start with tech companies. They need to get much better at collecting only necessary user data for features, storing it encrypted rather than openly, disclosing breaches immediately instead of hiding them, and explaining privacy policies clearly in plain language rather than legal mumbo-jumbo. Failing to protect user data should hurt their bottom line big time. Next, governments have been updating regulations about consumer data rights, especially in areas like online banking and health info, where risks are high. Getting policy right is tricky to allow useful innovation while sidelining data exploitation. The shift in priorities now places greater emphasis on the protection of citizens who may not possess a comprehensive understanding of the intricate technical intricacies underlying complex modern technologies. Fines now push companies toward respecting privacy or face penalties. Finally, we individuals have to get more savvy about risks instead of just complaining after problems happen. Every new app permission requested should make us pause and question what gets accessed. Who even reads those endless terms of service contracts before clicking agree? Understanding the data usage, storage duration, and who has access to it allows us to resist excessive data collection. Implementing basic habits such as utilizing strong, unique passwords on devices, regularly updating software, and recognizing phishing scams significantly enhance personal cybersecurity. Wrapping up. All right, we covered quite a bit of ground today on data privacy and security. As digital technology becomes increasingly integrated into finance, social lives, appliances, and every other aspect of our lives, it brings with it not only new advantages, but also new risks if mishandled, misused, or exploited for personal gain. To move forward successfully, it is essential for lawmakers, companies, and individuals to work together in order to achieve high-tech advancements without compromising privacy. Each one of us has a crucial part to fulfill, even if it's as simple as making wiser decisions and scrutinizing services that fail to gain our confidence. Technology should aim to improve lives without unexpectedly hijacking basic rights in the process behind opaque practices. Achieving balance will require continuous collaboration within communities, boardrooms, and political debates, carefully considering the implications and advocating for improvement when we do not meet expectations. As always, I love getting your thoughts and feedback to continue improving the show. Feel free to rate and write reviews for the podcast so others can find it too. Reach out on social media or my website to share your thoughts on this topic or suggest subjects you want me to cover in future episodes. Talk soon! And that wraps up another fun and hope interesting episode of Danny's podcast on technology. As always, hit subscribe and ding that notification bell to join me next time. I had a blast geeking out over today's topic with you all. Feel free to connect on social media with any questions, comments, or suggestions for future episodes. I can't wait to connect more in the comments and bring another dynamic technology conversation your way soon. Until next time, my fellow tech heads, this is your host signing off. Stay curious and keep looking forward, my friends. The future awaits.